It's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And here comes a return from just beyond. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy, because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. This defense for the Saints, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap. Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Open man is Kyle Pitts, his tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge game, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early. Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And that will be incomplete.
Not a great start dropping his first target, but let's face it, it won't be his last chance, because he'll get opportunities to make up for that one throughout this game.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. Had just the one big play on the drive, but that was enough to put him in field goal range.
Yeah, one big play of what they hope will be many others throughout the game. Every team has a different target for the number of plays like that, those explosives that we talk about. That allowed them to put points on the board on that drive. Let's see how the rest of the game goes.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the 1st.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive lineman creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame.
And this is going to be intercepted. And the Saints are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. He'll get 15 and a Saints 1st down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. The Saints at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year.
On third down, here's Kamara. They end up getting stuffed twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The fullback dive held up short. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Here's Edwards-Helaire as they will start on the ground. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 46 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And the defense closes quickly there. He'll get maybe a yard to the 33.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Now a play fake. Lance. That's caught by his tight end, Foster Moreau. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. To throw, it's Lance. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Falcons will get it 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is really fooled around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 27 yards there, a 1st down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
A bit of an opening there on the 1st down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And complete to Drake London. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Now, that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a 1st down.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like the wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 1st half.
Here we go, set, check, peek. Right, 97.
They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. It'll be a 3-yard pickup, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Now the defense going to use the 1st of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. They'll try to run with Edwards-Helaire. And the avenue collapsed for him as he's going to be held up short of the goal line. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. Michael Thomas, as the 1st half is winding down. And the Falcons go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. So not much time to speak of remaining in this 1st half as the kick's away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
At their own 13-yard line.
Ready.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble, and the Falcons grab it. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. So just 8 ticks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20.
Hurry!
A final shot before half for Lance. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Well, the white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Saints going to go on offense first, and they trail here as we begin quarter number 3. And no run back here as the third quarter will commence with a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Meanwhile, Lance's throw caught by Olave. Finding room at midfield. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Working from the gun, Lance. He completes it to Olave. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Again, it's Kamara. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Kamara is going to go backwards. He'll lose yardage back to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
2nd down and goal. Lance. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
They were well aware of the scoreboard as they went into halftime, and they know how tough it's been to put up any kind of points. But if there's a positive after that play, is that they were able to take a shot at the end zone on their opening drive of this half. The negative, though, that shot at 6 ended in an interception, and we know that's not going to jumpstart this struggling offense.
54 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he's as fine with that incompletion as a quarterback can be, in all honesty. He avoided his first sack of the game, and he did have a chance of connecting for yardage, just unable to on that throw.
Here's Edwards-Helaire, and they'll hold him to 3 there as he takes this up to the 47. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
Tyrann Mathieu there to make the tackle.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Blue striker.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And this time not quite to the 30. He'll be down at the 31-yard line. 87 yards rushing here for Edwards-Helaire. It's a 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has...
Okay, ready?
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. They find some open field here. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And the lead is now 24.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
He turned that into a nice gain, gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards.
Desperation time here. Lance. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have the Saints first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. Shotgun now for Lance. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
And that's another play that's painting the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here's Lance.
And he rifles one incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
Again, they'll throw it with Lance.
Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
This one winding toward a conclusion, and how would you assess how the secondary has played?
Well, we just saw them take another shot downfield that was incomplete, correct?
Correct.
So my assessment is that if anyone's played really well in this game, it's been the secondary. That was the latest example.
Yeah, they've been solid. Really, the whole defense has been solid. Still pitching a shutout.
The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example, and now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
Black Ultra.
2nd down, back to Edwards-Helaire.
And good running, going to get this down close to a first at the Saints' 44.
126 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Edwards-Helaire. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon. At this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. A 2-yard gain.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Edwards-Helaire as they run out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Koo just hit the field goal. Now he kicks off. This is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. It's been a tough go for them. It's still without any points here in the fourth quarter. And a big deficit, Charles, but they moved the football on some drives. They just haven't had any points.
Yeah, and I know in their minds they're thinking the game plan has actually been working. We just haven't scored points. Well, isn't that the bottom line, partner? To put points on the board, so...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football. How about one last great play defensively, and that should, for all intents and purposes, finish off this shutout.
That's as good a defensive performance as we've seen in a long, long time. And I know as a team they will celebrate, but I will guarantee you the defensive guys, they'll get together somewhere and have their own private celebration. A shutout, that's something to be cherished.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
2nd and 6.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total